Oh, so cute. Oh.
I'm allergic to cats. I can like feel like a cat's presence. Okay. Well, welcome to today's mini meditation and movement class. We're going to work a lot with our sense experiences today to keep coming back to this moment. Because more and more, I think with how busy the world is and how many things there are, we're normally in the narrative of our head and not in what's actually happening. And then the narrative of our head, which isn't true, is forming our stories and who we are. So coming back to this moment and taking in what's actually happening and kind of breaking the connection to the stories in our head. So I love that. So the way we're first going to start, hey Sage, bring the cat a little bit further away from me, okay? Down on that end of the porch. You could even go inside the house. You're welcome to do that. Okay, so we're going to do that with our breath. So coming to a seated posture, letting your eyes close. Taking a moment to feel yourself arriving here. When you're arriving here, you're disconnecting with the distractions that might be pulling you away from this moment, whether they're physical distractions like people in your space, mental list distractions, or even this internal dialogue about yourself doing your practice. All of these things are kind of not what's happening in this other moment that we can feel and ground into with our senses. And it's different than trying to push all of those things away. Then we're in this battle of trying to keep them out, but more of a letting everything be. And then coming into the experience of what's unfolding within every moment. We're going to do this with the focus of the sensations of the breath. So the first place we're going to notice this is the nostrils. You don't need to change your breath for this experience. We're just changing the awareness that we're watching. It's like the flashlight that we're pointing our awareness on the nostrils, filling the air as it comes in and out. You might notice the shift in temperatures between the in-breath and the out-breath. We're going to follow the sensations of the breath up to behind the nose. I like to call this the engine of the nose because it really seems to be the place where we can generate more force of our breath. So breathing in and out through the nose, this time noticing how it feels behind the nose where the breath does that little U-turn before it's pulled down the throat. You could do more of an ujjayi breath here to help bring more sensations to this area. Now we're going to follow the breath from the engine of the nose all the way down into the belly. So as you inhale, feel the movement of the belly as it expands, and feel the movement of the belly when it exhales. It's like the belly is a living balloon. This diaphragm, the lungs, it's kind of like a jellyfish as it inflates and deflates, feeling the sensation of the movements. When you catch the mind drifting away, I approach it with curiosity and humor and bring it back. And from here, we're going to shift our breath awareness up into our chest. So after you inhale into your belly, feel how the breath expands and makes the chest rise, chest fall. Being with this experience of the breath in the upper cavity of the chest. An antidote to any kind of boredom is more curiosity. For this, our last focus on the sensations of the breath, we're going to take in these 4 different points. So we have the sensations at the nostrils, the engine of the nose, the belly, and the chest. Letting yourself be with this bigger experience, less focus, a little bit more broad. And kind of like the camera, you can zoom in and take a picture, or you can zoom out. And yourself feel a little bit zoomed out as you experience yourself breathing. If you feel called to, you can zoom out past these 4 points and feel your whole self breathing. Nice, and bring your hands to your heart. You bring an intention to mind now. Maybe an intention you want to take with you through the rest of your practice or through the rest of your day or week. I think my intention is to remain more mindful. All right, and then release your hands down, let your eyes open. Awesome. We're going to start on our back for our movement practice. One of the things I'm aware of now that I've been meditating for a while is this idea of the immobility that comes with sitting. So after I sit lately, I've been trying to do something to stretch open the front of my hips. So a good option is a bridge. So pushing into the feet and letting the hips lift. Let your breath be easy. The hands can be down. You can take little movements side to side. Stay up for a little bit to start to generate some heat in the hips. And then when you're ready, lower down, and we'll just go up and down a few times. Opening up to the front of the body, the front of the hips. And let's do a one-legged one. So take your right foot a little bit more towards the midline. Left foot comes up in line with the left knee, or you can extend the leg all the way up. I'm going to start with the knee bend because most people's hamstrings aren't ready for a full straight. Push into the right foot and lift the hips. Come back down. Switch legs. Push into the left foot, belly into the spine, lift the hips. Come back down, right foot down, left foot up again. This time interlace your hands behind the left thigh. Push the thigh into the hands. Help drag the femur bone into the socket and then pull the belly in down towards the floor. And then we're going to bend and straighten this left leg. Notice the tendency for your back. I can feel for my back the tendency is, now let's keep the legs straight. Push the straight leg into the hands. My tendency is that the back of my ribs lifts up a lot. So if your back of the ribs are lifting up, try to pull them down. The other tendency is that the butt lifts up again. So the butt goes down. So both at the same time, ribs in and butt down. Now, keep this left leg up, remove your arms, push into the right foot, lift the hip. Bring the left foot down, bridge, those hips are still up. Extend your right hand up to the sky. Imagine you're doing a stop sign up to the ceiling. So the wrist flexes back. And then take the left hand over the right fingertips and pull your hand back into wrist extension. I'm pulling my right hand back. And I'm going to flip it down. So the hand extends. More time back.
I lost your sound, Kim.
I lost your sound, Kim.
An eventful morning. Okay. Did you make it to the right leg up and doing the
Yes.
knee thing?
Yes.
Okay. Let's do that. So from here, we'll keep the leg up, ribs and butt down. Sometimes there's like real stuff you got to attend to in the moment. Seeing if you can make this right hamstring stretch subtly more intense by keeping the belly and drawing the right sit bone down. And we'll go up into our bridge, release your hands, lift your hips up. So it's a good test to see which glute is stronger and which one is harder to keep up. You can keep the hips neutral. And then lower the right foot down. Both hips stay lifted up into your bridge. Left hand comes up. Pull your wrist back into wrist extension. And then flip the palm down. And then we'll do the little splashes with our fingers. Warming up the hands. Keep doing the hands, go bum down, and then bum up, then bum down, and then bum up, and then bum down, and then bum up. Really nice. Lower the hips down. Pull your knees into your belly, maybe rock side to side. Okay, and then rock forward and back on your spine. And we'll come up over our knees to downward facing dog. Bicycling the knees, bending and straightening them, taking little bits of intuitive movement. It was the full moon in Aquarius the other day. So I thought we would do some moon salutations today, which are similar to sun salutations, but with a little bit more lunging. Look forward. Bottom of your exhale, bring your feet forward. Uttanasana, standing forward fold. In your forward fold, shift the weight a little bit more over your heels. Activate your legs, and from your hips, imagine pushing into your feet. Powerful legs. Inhale, look forward. Come halfway up, hands to your thighs. Think about pulling your belly in, supporting your low spine with your belly, and then using your hands to root your thighs back. Then as you inhale, come all the way up and stretch up. Same powerful action from your hips. Push through your feet from your hips. Stretch up through the spine. And exhale, hands through. Heart center. Okay, standing at the front of your yoga mat as you inhale, arms stretch up. And as you exhale, forward fold. For the inhale, you're going to step the left foot back. And see if in this high runner's lunge, you can create the same experience of your long spine, especially in your low back. So belly in, lengthening out through the spine, thighs back, pushing through the feet. And then we're going to lower the back knee down to the floor. You could throw a cushion down if you want. And for this first one, we're going to keep the fingertips on the floor or blocks. The right hips engage, push through the right foot, and drag the right heel and the left knee together. And now squeeze the left glute and start to push the left hip down towards the floor a little bit. As the left hip engages, the glute engages and you push down. So little squeeze in between heel and back knee. At a certain point, I have to let my right knee widen up to the side a little bit so my chest has room. Really nice. And then tuck the toes. Inhale, lift up your back knee. Step back, downward facing dog. Stretch your right leg up to the sky. Hip stays squared. Exhale, step the right foot forward between your hands. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Oh, did I say right foot? I meant left foot. Step your right foot back. Inhale, left foot up to the sky. Step the left foot forward between your hands. Lengthen up out of your hips and then lower the back knee down. Same thing, powerfully push down into your foundation, drag the legs together, and then into the drag of the leg, squeeze your right hip and push it forward a little bit. Shoulders draw down the back, long neck, long spine, and then tuck the back toes under, lift up the back knee, and then step the back foot forward. Exhale. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, stretch up. Exhale, hands through heart center. We're going to repeat that on the second side. Inhale, up. Exhale, belly in, fold. Inhale, step your right foot back, lengthen forward. Exhale, right knee comes down to the floor. Squeeze the glute, draw the legs together. This time we're gonna walk the hands up the left knee. So both hands are gonna come up. Cupping your fingers over the front knee. Push down through your legs. Squeeze front foot, back knee together. And then use your hands on the left knee to help fold the left femur bone back into the hip socket. You're helping turn your hips a little bit to the left, belly in. When my hip squares off like this and the right glute's engaged, it should help you get into the front of the right hip a little bit more. You can think about pulling the chest and the ribs in while you keep squaring the hips off. Right, bring your right fingertips to the floor. Up on your fingertips or hand flat. And then we're gonna let the head turn to the left and let your head hang heavy. Now stretch your left elbow up to the sky like a cactus arm. Stretching from the armpit up through the elbow, head hanging heavy. You can take little movement side to side with your neck, working the sticky area and this part of the head rotation. You're pushing down through the right hand, down through the right knee. And then we're going to kickstand the right foot to the right. Left elbow is going to come on the left thigh. Modified Parsvakonasana to the right. So left elbow on left thigh, right hand to your hip. Push down into the floor. Let the head hang heavy. So the head's hanging over the left shoulder, and then we'll do the cactus arm up to the sky again. This time the right arm's up. The right hand can either hang at your shoulder. Sometimes I'll keep my right hand on my deltoid, or I'll open it up like cactus. Push the elbow up. Head hangs, little rotation. And from here, we're going to pivot into modified Spandasana. So you're going to shift to the right. Hands are going to plant kind of like you're going into table. And then the left leg's going to straighten and the foot's going to pivot down. Squeeze the legs together. Push through the pinky edge of the left foot. And then push the thighs back. You could walk your hands forward for like a down dog. Really nice. Come on up. Walk your hands back forward. Step back, downward facing dog. In your down dog, inhale, come forward to plank. Knees up or knees down, lower down chaturanga with control. Create strength in the body and then inhale, lengthen and curl. When you're ready, exhale, downward facing dog. Little bend in your knees, gaze forward, and then forward to the front of your yoga mat. However you want to get there, Uttanasana. Powerful legs, belly in. As you inhale, push through your feet, come all the way up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step the left foot back. Lengthen through your spine. Right foot's forward. And then lower your back knee down to the floor. Lately, I've been liking my back toes pointed. Work your hands up to the front of your right knee. Hands cuff the front of the knee. Dragging the knee and foot together. Roll your right hip back. Squeeze your left glute and push down through the left knee. And then rise up from your foundation. Draw the shoulders back, throat back, and pull up through the front side of the body. A really great way to target the front of the left hip flexors. Seeing if maybe there's a little micro movement you can do. Maybe the head rolls a little bit to help target this interconnected fabric that runs up the whole front side. An arm lift. All right, now coming into our twist, left hand's gonna come down to the floor. Push down through the left hand, turn your chest to the right, right elbow up to the sky. Head hangs heavy, stretch through your wingspan. Release through the neck muscles. And get this pose to serve you. And then we're gonna pivot it open. Left foot's gonna pivot into the right, modified Parsvakonasana, right forearm to your thigh. Captain Morgan pose, haven't done this one for a while. Feel it on those inner thigh muscles. And then the left elbow will come up. Head dangles heavy. Find your breath, maybe even find those 4 spots of the breath. And we're gonna come on up, straighten into the right leg, right foot turns to the left hand comes down like a version of table. Working up into the pelvis and the back of the legs draw together. Sit bones draw back and out. And then you can begin to push your butt back away from your hands. There's a lot of things you could do here. You could do a twist, you could do more of a child's pose. These last few rounds of breath, see if your awareness can ground on a sensation you're experiencing. And watching that experience shift and change. Right, come on up. Pivot back to the front of the yoga mat. Plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, curl cobra. And when you're ready, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Bottom of your exhale, bring your feet forward. Push into your feet, come all the way up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Come back to your intention. Okay, we're gonna do one more round like this. Inhale, stretch your arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step your right foot back, high runner's lunge, create length. So we're gonna keep the right knee up, come on up, lunge. Bring your hands to the front of your left thigh. Probably can't reach your knees unless you have abnormally long arms. So I hold like the middle of my thigh, but we're gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna push into my feet and drag the feet together. And then I'm gonna use my hands on my left thigh to pull my femur back into my hip socket and help square off my hip. The squaring off on the back hip is what's gonna open up through the hip flexors. And then begin to play with your muscles. Play with the way you squeeze your butt, the way you draw your belly in, the way you push them through your feet, and see if you can start to wake up more sensations to the front of the hip. Maybe you move the head or the arm. We're going to take it into our high runner's twist. Right hand comes on the floor. Left arm up to the sky. Hand can be straight up or bent. If it feels good, it feels okay on your spine, you could take your right hand a little bit more wide. Pull your right shoulder over your hands so you're quite a bit away from your left thigh. So you have more space to lengthen, twist, and add a little bit of back bend if you want. Sometimes I'll take my left hand behind my head, pull a little bit more length through the back of my neck. And from here, we're going to switch into Parsvakonasana. So walking the hands to the front of the yoga mat, right heel grounds down. Left elbow can come up to your thigh like we did before, or the hand can come down to the floor or the block. Let's see. On the top arm can stretch up, or the elbow, being a release through the neck. And allowing this to open however you'd like. Dog pose. From here, we're going to pivot the feet to the right. He's fine. There's only 1% on. She's not right. You pivot your feet to the right, and then we're going to do Spandasana in the back leg. So your choice, you could do it with the back knee heel down, or you could come all the way down. We'll do about 10 breaths over here, maybe 7. Finding a way to get this pose to work for you and your needs. Not about the story that might be built around this pose or past experiences with this pose. Really nice. Walk yourself back to downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look forward, bottom of your exhale, step, walk, hop your feet forward, Uttanasana. From your hips, push into your feet, rise up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, left foot back, lengthen through your spine, high runner's lunge. Exhale, push through the feet, fire up your muscles, and on your next inhale, rise up. Adjust your stance. And then I suggest taking the hands to the right thigh. Push through the feet, drag the legs together. It's gonna wake some things up, and then pull the right femur bone back into your hip socket. As it pulls back, feel the left hip socket turn forward. Now pull the belly in, fire up the glutes, especially the back glutes. And start to see if you can find new sensations. You can open this up however you'd like. We'll be here for a few more rounds of breath. High runner's lunge twist. My fingertips come to the floor. Right arm up to the sky. Maybe taking this into a wider open version. Then pivoting into Parsvakonasana, left heel spins to the floor, pinky edge parallel to the back of the yoga mat, right forearm to the thigh or fingertips to the floor. And suppose open however you want. A few more rounds of breath. Coming to the end of our practice and trying to get all you can out of it. Then pivot both of the feet to the left. Bend into the left knee for your version of Spandasana. All right, walk your hands back, downward facing dog. Do one more vinyasa. Inhale, come forward to plank. Knees up or down, chaturanga. Cobra. Downward facing dog. In your down dog, take your feet a little bit wider than your hips. We're gonna windshield out the legs, letting the heels rotate to one side. And the other. Back to center with your feet a little bit wide. Walk your hands back to your feet. Wide leg, forward fold, maybe ragdoll. Find the strength of your legs, push through your feet. Let the spine, head be relaxed. From the push of your feet, begin to roll up through your spine. Go slow. Sometimes I'll move my spine a little bit from one side to the other as I roll up. Very slow and mindful. Once you come back up, let the arms come up. the arms come up, step your feet together, do a little side stretch up and over to the right hand holds your left wrist. You could pull yourself into a side stretch here. You could do more of a little relaxed collapse to the side. Oh, and then one more time up through center. Over to the other side. Begin to flick your fingers. Run on your feet, hop. Do jumping jacks. Do kicks. We are ready for the day. Make up a song. Prepare you for your day. New week. Last week of July. We can do this. Do, 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 do. Eyes closed, hands to your heart. Feel your aliveness. May we live through this week. Live lots of experiences. Be able to move through next week on Monday. Namaste.